it was debt from buying drugs or alcohol or something, then yes, it's a red flag. But if it's from school, I don't know, you got sick, couldn't work, that's not being... Yeah, exactly. If it was debt from drugs or alcohol or gambling, that would be a deal breaker for me, because that's also, you know, something that is it's a cycle that you have to break too. You know, I mean, it's not really that the debt is the issue, it's the fact of the underlying stuff is the issue. Like, it's a debt that is never going to go away if you don't work out the underlying issue, I guess. I don't know. Let me just read back these comments. At one point in life, everyone accumulates some debt. Yeah, exactly. I work at least... I'll just go back to the start. I'm just going to find these comments from the start. So just because you've had domestic violence problems makes it okay to come at someone and talk down to a person. It makes a lot of sense. I didn't know two wrongs made a right. I tried to leave before the tea. This is Hale. She knew I wanted to leave multiple times. Whenever she says Hale charged me 8... I imagine Hale putting on football gear and rushing out of like an NFL. I was thinking the same thing. I can throw my hours on my paychecks. I can show my hours on my paychecks though. Like I said, with all this overtime, yet she was so broke she had to move back home with her parents. This bitch is throwing a fit about not getting affection and being neglected. I work at least 50 hours a week. She doesn't even do 40. Well, she doesn't do any now. Didn't she quit her job? Which is... Why is she sharing shit that is no one else's business? It doesn't help her case, like the sex stuff, petty as fuck. I know, and when she takes that one to court and they see that she's been outing, like, sexual things, it's not going to look good on her behalf. Debt from birds. Yeah, Hales is racking up the birds. Instead of the crazy cat lady, he's like the bird man. Oh, Hale, I pity you are going through this, but thank God you got out when you did. It's almost unbelievable how crazy she is. At some point in life, everyone accumulates some debt. As a DV survivor, I absolutely do not get angry and aggressive when someone gets aggressive with me. What kind of excuse is that? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Money comes and goes. It shouldn't be a bottom line. Right. Heck, our Austin is pretty much set up to have some debt. Our system. Yeah. Okay, I was like, who's Austin? Exactly. I had my kid's dad hit me, and just because that happened to me doesn't mean I'm going to go ape shit on someone for getting mad. I have a history of abuse, and she would get offended if I flinched. Ugh. I would be flinching too. Like, she's very unpredictable. And it's one thing to have debt if you don't work or can't keep a job, but having debt and working your ass off is nothing to be ashamed about. Exactly. Hale says he had less than $1,500 debt. Do you talk about what kind of business you're on? Answer that one. $6,000 was her debt. Literally everything that comes out of her ugly mouth is a lie. I think I said this one before as well. If it was debt from buying drugs. Alright. I'm currently in debt and trying to get it all settled ASAP. I mean, really, she should thank Hal for letting her not pay rent or anything else and pay off her debt she had. I know. And that's the thing. What should have happened is, now they've got the $6,000 debt, she should be paying all of the rent like he was, if she works so many times, like hours overtime, and then allowing him to pay off his $1,500 debt. She constantly contradicts herself over and over again. Isn't she exhausted from spewing bitter bullshit all the time? Yes, because she was getting fired. I knew she was getting fired. I freaking knew it. She always does that. She always quits right before she gets fired. Someone said, why was she getting fired? I mean, I can pretty much take a guess. Also, I don't know if you've seen it, but Courtney said she had a bunch of creepers following TWT pretending to be friends here or some shit. Yeah, I mean, maybe she does, but honestly, I don't feel like she has anyone following here, because there's a lot of things that I know that that was posted that I know she would respond to, and she hasn't, because she talks about like the comments are on Hale's page, but that's pretty much it. So I feel like that's just her being a narcissist, like trying to be like, oh, well, I've got people like on the in. No, Courtney, everybody hates you. Hale has 50 hours of her video evidence. Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Like, every time she goes live, it's just more ammunition for him in court. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Just chill out. Stay off live. stop talking crap. I know, like, she's trying to get a point across. Like, he's the abusive one. Like, he's so bad and he's awful. And if she keeps repeating it, maybe someone will believe her. But it just doesn't realize how bad it makes her look. Did you see the live this morning? She was saying how she said that if Hal wanted to be involved with Charlotte, he has to pay child support. And after that is when he blocked her. Oh, my God. She can't make up her mind. She's just an idiot. I don't understand how you can sit on live and be like, he doesn't want to see his daughter. If it's his daughter, then doesn't want to do this for his daughter or whatever, then why can't he see his daughter? Like, why has he got to fight you for it? Sure he does. She has all these supporters she claims she has with her 6 people strong live, and 3 of those people are recording for me. I have no clue. A month ago she said she was being looked at for manager. Oh my God. I feel like everything she says, it's very hard to, like, it's hard to know what's truth and what's fiction. And I feel like as well, she doesn't know. I don't think she actually knows what, you know, like, I feel like she says things to herself and she tries to convince herself so well that she actually does it. And she's just living in, like, an alternate universe to everyone else. She's only seen the YouTube. Yeah, she definitely hasn't seen the stuff on the page. She's seen what's on Hale's page, but she doesn't have any on the page. She tries to say that. She tried to say she had a bunch of people on the page. Well, I mean, she had one on the page, but she accidentally outed her. And that's the thing, like, you know, she gets these supporters and they're like, oh my God, I feel so bad for Courtney. Like, let me go and spy on them. And then they go on there and then they send stuff to her. And she doesn't even bother blocking their stuff out. Like, she doesn't protect them in any way. And then she wonders why she has no one left. Like, you would think that you would be protecting that person or, like, blocking their usernames so that they can stay on the page for you. But instead, she just throws them under the bus. And now they're off the page too. You can't have half a brain cell if you truly believe anything she says. Yeah, I don't believe anything she says. I don't know. I don't know if she knows what's going on. Step parents that step up should have rights to the children. Hale provides stability for her daughter for years. Yeah, exactly.
Tax credits, right? Because they give you like half of your tax early, 6 months. He spent all of it on clothes.
You monster!
He just went out to the bars the other night. Instead of paying his fucking rent, he's out at the bar buying drinks.
Stalker!
Grow up, dude. At least all my bills are paid. Like, holy shit.
She's making me mad. At least my bills are paid. That's because he paid rent for you.
You guys think he's so fucking perfect, right? Because I talked so highly of him during our relationship. Nah, that man is such a fucking fraud. Such a fraud. So, yeah, my bills were paid. Hale's like, no, they weren't. We know they weren't. And, she's paid off her debts because Hale, how can she not listen to this and be like, he's in debt now? Maybe he's in debt now because he was paying for everything while you paid your debt off. Like, does that make any sense in this? Like, she's in Julianatopia now. But, grow up, dude. You were out at a bar. You were at a bar the other night too, and you were talking about having tattooed man's babies. Like, are you kidding me? Like, how is it not okay for Hale to go to the bar, but it's okay for her to go to a bar? It's not okay for Hale to have people, sliding in his DMs, but it's okay for her to have tattooed dudes sliding in the DMs and then talking about having sex with him. I've got to make a TikTok. I have to make a TikTok over this. I just can't. It's funny as fuck. And even, we were watching it last night, and my husband, he'll just sit there and giggle. He's just like, this girl is fucking nuts. He is convinced there's some sort of a drug addiction. I'm like, no, she's just, this is mental health, babe. This is mental health. I know. I kept saying this as well. Like, you can't have a baby with her. I don't think he ever intended to. I think it was more, making sure Shiloh was looked after and cared for. Like, I wouldn't have had a baby with her until I had adopted Shiloh, because at the end of the day, like, you know, that child is going to be like a half sibling to Shiloh, and then you're going to have, like, you want them to have that time together, so it would be much better to have adopted Shiloh first, that you're getting the same visitation as you are with the baby, if that makes any sense, because that way the baby and Shiloh aren't going to be affected, because they're always going to be together. So even though their parents aren't together, they'll be together visiting parents. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Just go back and read these comments. That half hour was so full of anxiety for all of us trying to figure it out. How dare you buy clothes, Hale? Yeah, you're meant to walk around naked. I think everybody's already established this, okay? No more clothes for you. I'm sure the girls would prefer that anyway. She's so worried about pay that shit off yourself. Yeah. Alright, let's have a peeky at the next one. Oh, no, that is the last one. Hold on. So I'll just read out the comments that are on the page, okay? This way I'll... Can you even claim child support for a kid that isn't biologically yours and you couldn't adopt? No. No, I don't think so. She's only going to get child support if she lets him legally adopt her. It's just not going to happen otherwise. But she thinks she's getting alimony. Like, this bitch thinks she's getting alimony. Huh? It infuriates me. Like, I try so hard to get on here and be like, okay, don't be biased. You know, just, like, try to be seeing of both sides, and you just can't see her side. I can't see it. I just don't understand it. You know, like, I try that with all of them. Like, I see both sides with almost every Instamum bar her and Juliana. And, like, even Crystal. Like, I try with Crystal, but, I mean, she can't help herself. So, anyway, these are the comments. So, she needs to figure out if it's her child or both. She keeps flip-flopping depending on which works best for her, which works best for her. When she's leaving, he's leaving their child and abandoning her, yet it's her child up on his Instagram. That's so right. Like, you can't have it both ways. It's either Shiloh is his child or she's not his child. Like, it doesn't work that. You don't have to be legally divorced to block someone. You can talk through email, third-party lawyers. Exactly. My son is not biologically my husband's child. If we ever divorce, I'm not going to make him delete any pictures on social media with him because that's petty and stupid. And someone else said, right, that is beyond that. Like, it's beyond me how anyone could fail in such a major way to prioritize their child's best interest. She absolutely doesn't have Shiloh's best interest at heart. There's another live that I want to go through. And in this live, I have never seen Courtney speak so nicely to Shiloh. It was like, my jaw was on the floor. I was like, oh my God, she's actually being a mum for a change. Like, it wasn't, you know, how usually she's like yelling at her, like, get out or whatever. And she was like, yeah, we'll go and play Mario Kart soon, baby. And I'm like, what? That was like, that. There's one positive thing I seen. I don't know if it was real or not though, but let's just pretend it was. How are we supposed to talk? Have your lawyer call my lawyer is another comment. Also, the sex thing is ridiculous. The fact that she keeps bringing it up makes me think she's trying to embarrass Hale. All it sounds like to me is she got hers, and then when Hale wanted his, she was too tired. I would get annoyed and huffy if I took care of my partner and they never wanted to do the same. How do I get Ko-Fi? I love watching these. I didn't reply to that one yet, but Ko-Fi, the link is in my bio. We just upload the full lives under the Ko-Fi, and then they're on like a private link, and it stops people from reporting them. I've actually had to start archiving all the pictures. I haven't gotten them all on Ko-Fi yet, but I'm going to archive them all because someone is going back through and like reporting old screenshots. So if I can archive everything until like the last month, so like each month I'll archive it at the end of the month, I think is definitely the way to go, and then that way we can stop old things getting reported over and over by someone said, okay, so she's unhinged. She doesn't want to be blocked, so she has access to a verbally emotionally abuse Hale, says shit like he's abandoned his family child, but then is mad that he has pictures of her child on Instagram,
Like, pick a lane, either she's his or not. Additionally, once again, she waits until shit goes south for her to complain about things, just like she did when she got fired from that one place. What a mess. Which one place? She gets fired from every place. What's not normal is putting all this info out there, true or not, angry or not, cringe. For the record, I know she's full of shit. Next one says, her whole life she contradicts herself. When a domestic violence victim gets charged at, she's going to be mad. No. When we get charged at, we get terrified, Courtney. Good point. Next comment, just because you're impossible to love doesn't mean your partners aren't capable of giving love. They just couldn't give it to you because you're a walking, talking, contradicting red flag. Next comment, you can block someone while still legally married. Laughing face. You don't even have to talk to the person you're divorcing until going to court. All communication can be done through lawyers. We've seen how insane she is on social media. I'm sure it's 10 times worse dealing with it directly. I can't even imagine. She's going to need a facelift soon. I think they can mean because she's pouting like all the time. She's like mad as. What does a strap-on have to do with finances? Laughy face, laughy face. Does she not realise how inappropriate it is to discuss another person's sexual desires? Does she think it's going to embarrass him? Guess what, Courtney? We all have sex. Big whoop. Next comment. I snickered so hard through these videos. She sounds stupid. What is Ko-Fi? Jesus fucking Christ. There is just so much to unpack here. First, it's ironic she's calling someone disgusting while sucking on her nasty ass nails. I'm telling you, when I upload this live, okay, I think I've actually... Have I put it on there or not yet? Last night I put a heap of videos on there and I haven't shared the link on Ko-Fi yet. But I will be. I'm just waiting for the last Juliana one to go on. But I'm not kidding. Like, she was literally finger, like, in her nose, scratching her nose. In her eyeball, pushing her nail, like, her lashes back on. In her ear, scratching the side of her face. And then she's sucking on it. Like, literally, like, tonguing her nail. And I'm like, ooh, God. So my kids don't even do that much. He doesn't have to talk to her for a divorce. You just file it. That doesn't require talking. It's none of her business what he spends his money on since they aren't together. Funny how she calls Shiloh her child about the pictures and calls her our child when she's talking about Hale leaving. Bang on, guys. All right, so the comments on here, I'll just go back and read them. Sorry. It makes no sense that she thinks she can claim child support, but then also claims that he has no rights to ever speak to her again. Like, what? I know. I don't know why she would think that she was working the whole time, and so was Hale. She was not living on a certain lifestyle that she now cannot fulfill on her own. Yeah. She's live. Someone go record it. I've had enough of Courtney. Oh my God, someone please go live and grab it. Actually, I think our person just popped off to find it. Hey, if was open to follow, now I'm blocked on my ghost IG. Oh no. It's nervous tics. Wait, what? What's nervous tics? Can you explain what you mean, Hale? I don't know. I don't know what you mean. Alright, next one. Oh, gosh, this girl. No.
The fact that 3 weeks into
Sorry, I have to go
put
back.
up with things I forgave guys that I didn't speak about.
Oh, the nail thing. Right.
The fact that 3 weeks into our relationship,
It's gross.
we're both drinking, taking shots, and
Oh.
he like leans over and he whispers in my ear, and I didn't hear what he said, so I turned off the live video.
Ah,
This
okay.
motherfucker looks at me and goes, "By the way, just so you know, I was still engaged to my fiance the day before our first date." Excuse me, what?
So?
And I forgave him for that. I stayed with him. And then 3 months later, stayed with him when I caught him messaging the hate page. Started getting neglected. He'd be like, "Can you strap up? I want to try something."
Okay, so she's back to talking about the strap-on again. So he says they're nervous ticks. It's because she's anxious. She knows people aren't falling for it this much. Yeah. For starters, okay, let's just go back. I mean, no woman wants to know that their ex can move on that quickly from someone. I understand that. That's just, I don't know. From what I'm, like, reading from, like, one of the comments on the page was, like, you know, people that are in, like, gay relationships and stuff, like, they move on super quick. I've never noticed that because, like, I don't know, I've just never noticed that. So I'm not sure if maybe over there, because there's probably more people that are out. I don't know. But I don't know. But either way, like, you know, people are obviously like, oh, you know, it worries them because they're thinking, oh, well, if we break up, what if they move on, like, the next day, which I think is why she's, like, totally paranoid here. But at the end of the day, if you go out with someone and they broke up with their fiancé yesterday, they don't need, like, you don't need to forgive them for something they did before they went out on a date with you. Like, I don't understand this. Like, what? Why would she have to forgive Hale? It makes no sense. Yeah. Honey, you still married him after you found out about the fiancé thing. That's your own fault. Exactly. But I'm sorry. I just don't understand. Like, I know it's not obviously desirable. We don't want to find out that, you know, our partner just broke up with their ex and they've, like, moved on that quickly to someone. Like, maybe they were chatting beforehand. I don't know. I don't know what the deal was. But I don't feel like, even if that was the case, you'd be, like, I don't know, I feel like there's nothing to forgive there. Unless I'm missing out on some of the story, I don't know. But I don't understand why she has to forgive him for something that he did the day before they were even together. Like, she said they went out on their first date and she found out they only broke up with his fiancé the day before. Like, I don't know. Am I missing something? I get it's not desirable, but, like, I don't think that she needs to be forgiving him.
Put up with so much during the last 2 years that I really didn't speak about. And even after the breakup, I still didn't speak about all this. I still was telling everyone, no, he's a really good guy. Like, don't blame him. Bullshit, guys. He is fucking psychotic. I put up with...
So Hale said, my ex and I were just comfortable with each other. The last year we weren't really close or having sex. You shouldn't have to apologise for something you did before you got together. The day before my husband and I started dating, if I left my ex, lol, he has no issues with it. Oh, it's irrelevant to your relationship. Exactly. I would understand if Hale's ex needed to be forgiven because obviously they broke up and, like, the next day he's on a date with Courtney. I don't know if there was, like, a bit of chit-chat happening before then when he was still with his fiancée. But if that's the case, the only person that needs to forgive Hale is his fiancée, not Courtney. Like, it's none of Courtney's business. It's laughable that she can call someone else psychotic. I know. Awkward.
Every argument we had, if I asked him to communicate with me, it was, well, you have BPD, remember? And I don't have a bio. So he would...
Oh, shit. Where'd that go? I'm sorry. I just clicked out of it by accident.
Things... everything to be the mature adult, and the fact that this stupid fucking hate page is making it out to be like, when she was in my hands, I was taking her to fucking school.
Alright, let me just go back one. I think we just missed it. But I'm just reading what Hal said. He said, she bragged about how she stole me away from someone else. No, I never crossed that line. Didn't even flirt with her till we ended things. Yeah, so I don't understand how she thinks anyone needs to forgive you. Like, definitely not her of all people. Sorry, I'll have to replay this one.
I put up with so much during the last 2 years that I really didn't speak about. And even after the breakup, I still didn't speak about all this. I still was telling everyone, no, he's a really good guy. Like, don't blame him. Bullshit, guys. He is fucking psychotic.
That was one live out of, like, 5. Every other live she was slamming him.
I put up with so much during the last 2 years that I really didn't speak about. And even after the breakup, I still... Every argument we had, if I asked him to communicate with me, it was, well, you have BPD, remember? And I don't have a bio... So he would like skip over accountability and like deflect and project and be like, it's all you, it's all you. And I put up with it for over a year. He promised, swore up and down that he would go to therapy when he started his transition. Has not been to a therapist in person once. I begged 6 fucking times.
Who's counting?
For couples counseling, and he never took me up on it. He just kept deflecting.
This is... Has anyone noticed the username Chasing Three Littles? Okay, 2 different people, but it's like the Karen of Instagram. If you have the username Chasing Three Littles, fucking change it, because 2 of these users have made you look like a total twat. One of them is on Muliana's live all the time, tongue punching her fart box, and the other one is on this live right now. Hold on, I have a heap of comments to go back through, but let me just read out one of these comments. This is a Chasing Three Littles 07 is her username. He doesn't care what happens. He was already in debt, and since you're still on the lease and his car, he knows that if he doesn't pay that back, it'll fuck you over and hurt you with what you're trying to do. Why? Stupid girls. So that we've just decided that's the new Karen name of Instagram, Chasing Three Littles. Because the other one, I'm sure, has red hair, and she's always on Juliana's live, and I think it's chasing with like the number 3 littles, whereas this one's like the word 3. And she does the same thing. I don't think that word means what you think it means, Courtney. Hale said, I'll be the psycho if she just shuts up. She will never shut up. I'm sorry, but this is never going to happen. She will do this. Like, look, she's still talking about Mel. Like, you got to wait at least. I mean, Terry, he still gets a mention here and there, but it's less. So you got to wait like 5 more people she has completely fucking destroyed down the line, and then maybe she'll stop talking about you, if you're lucky. Hale said the same thing to my narcissistic daddy. I said the same thing to my narcissistic daddy. I was like, okay, great. I'm not. Shut up. Next comment, she's wild. She's ridiculous. I just really don't understand how people can act like this. My ex is just like this. It's so hard to deal with. She keeps twisting her stories around. They keep. Someone saying, trying to say that he deflects. Yeah, I know. Has anyone noticed how she's been quiet on her lives so no one else can hear her bullshit, or is it just me? No, that is the psycho. It's like the medicated voice or something. It's really weird because you don't know what's scarier. Like, is it scarier when she's ranting and she's super mad, or is it scarier when she's like talking like this and she's really calm? Because I don't fucking know. I remember when I was little and my mum, like, you know, they grab your arm and they're like, if you don't behave yourself, I'm going to kick your ass when we get home. And they're like, big smile on their face and you're like, oh, and you're terrified. Everyone's like, oh, what a great mum. And you're like, oh, absolutely terrified. That's what it's like. That's what she reminds me of. Anxiety just watching it. She said something earlier about Terry not even being Shiloh's dad earlier. Oh, good grief. Yes, or she walks outside. Terry is definitely her dad. I mean, they have the same issue. It's just like she talks about Terry less because she's found 2 other victims since, you know.
Everything to be the mature adult.
Alexis made my kids.
Fucking hate page is making it out to be like, when she was in my hands, I was taking her to fucking school.
Mm-hmm.
I have the voicemails too to prove all this. I'm just so disgusted. Like, he is such a fake person. And he's online.
Hell no.
Amazing guy. So strong, so muscular weightlifter. No, bro, you're really unhealthy. You were sick in the head. You need help. Please get it.
Hale just said, one time she started talking very calm and we were fighting and I found out she started recording me. Well, you know something's up. When she's like talking calm, like, all right, bitch, where did Courtney go? Like, no. I do not believe this for a second. And it's so funny though, because like, even when she does, like, I'm sure when we talk crap about the stuff that she does, that she probably writes notes and goes, oh, this is how I do it next time, and not come across as such a psycho. But like when her and there was, you know, these voicemails, it was the same thing with Mel. Like, I'm sure that when you see this, like, I know that you're like, oh, you know, Mel, he's abusive as well or whatever. But you have to see the same patterns between yours and Mel's breakup. Like, you have to see it. Like, we had all of those screen recordings, like, he's not a great person, listen to this. And, like, he's not even being that psycho, I don't think. Like, he's like, fuck off, bitch. Like, stop following me. Because you can tell she's following around the house. And he's like, just fucking leave me alone, you know? And, like, he doesn't know she's recording. So if that's his actual worst, when she's antagonizing him like that, like, she hasn't got shit. You know what I mean? Like, she's sitting there and she's like, oh, but I just want to talk to you. And you can tell there's been, like, a massive argument before and she's antagonizing him. This poor bastard's trying to get away from her. And she just won't let up, and he snaps and he's like, fuck off, like, get away from me, you know? But you can tell by those voice recordings, and you know, because, one, she knows the recording's on, so she's, like, got to be on her best behaviour, and he's got no clue, so, no clue. No clue? No idea, no clue, I just mix them together. It's my new thing, no clue. I'm sorry. I'm ranting, so I'm like, I'm sounding like Courtney. I'm like, oh, the crazy's rubbing off on me. So I just read these comments. She said that Terry wasn't the actual father, but he stepped up. Oh, my God. What? We'll have to go through her list of all the people that she slept with on 10 fingers that she did the other day. 10 hands. That she did the other day, and we'll work out who the baby daddy is. There's only 10. There's only 10 on there. Well, she said, I can count them all on 2 hands, is what she said. And I counted the high school people, and then we added Mel and Hale, and that was 10 people. So, yeah. I know she's not telling anyone they're sick in the head. She's the poster child for sick in the head, I know. How do they not have, like, Instagram authorities that go, oh, my God, like, let's lock this girl up. Like, we need to, like, if the government is really listening into all of our conversations and shit, by now they would have locked this up. Or, like, you know, put her into some sort of an army base to, like, use as a weapon against people. You know what I mean? Or, like, a torture device. Could you imagine, like, getting captured in war and then you had to sit there and listen to this shit 24/7? Oh, fuck. That'd be, like, the best weapon ever. We could actually get something positive out of it. Hale said, sorry, guys, didn't mean to let you all down. Maybe she's not saying this about Hale. It's the voices in her head talking about herself. Yeah. Yeah, and that Terry wasn't bio dad. She found a legal loophole to have his rights terminated. I thought she said that Terry signed away the rights. Like, I don't know if she can even, you know, she sits there and goes, oh, he walked away, he signed his rights away. If it's not even his bio child, and I know that sounds terrible because, like, of course, like, he was in her life for, like, a very small amount of time, though, I will say. Like, you know what I mean? Would you stay and deal with this shit, or would you just... someone just said something about Sierra's new post. Would you stay and, like, deal with it when you haven't really even been around that child, or would you fucking haul ass and get out of there so you didn't have to deal with her? Like, I would probably leave $500K in the friggin' safe just so I didn't have to come back and face this woman. She's literally the sickest, most chick ever. Oh my God, yes, the voicemail. She was so calm and being a weirdo. Yeah, it was really weird. And we knew like that there was something that had gone down beforehand. You know what I mean? It was so edited and Crystal used to do the same thing. She'd go live and be like, do you really think I should kill myself? And it's like, and like trying to get him to repeat it back so she has proof to show to her followers. Like, bitch, be on the mark. Like, if you want to expose Matt, like, at least record it the first time. What? Or I can honestly go the rest of my life never hearing about these two again. Oh, I don't blame you. Like, imagine having to listen to about Terry and Mel, like,
I feel sorry for, like, the person in, like, 5 times. I don't even know how she keeps getting people. One day this will all be a funny story, Hale. Yeah, one day, when she's forgotten about you, you might be like, she'll be like fucking 80 and be like, he was so abusive. He nearly broke my foot. Yep, she would antagonise Mel and start the recordings, and you could tell by the conversation they were having. Exactly, you could always tell by the conversation they were having. I have your friend request, Chewini. Is it Chewini? Chaiweenie? I have your friend request on the other page, but I need you to send me, like, your Facebook logged in or what your other Instagram is or whatever so that I can, like, verify you before I add you, if that makes sense. How you didn't let anyone down? No. I know, Mum. I was joking. Oh, that is so cute. Hale's stepmom is younger than me by the sounds of it, in her late 30s. Oh dear. She was bragging about basically bullying him into signing his rights away. I don't blame the guy. I wish I could throw my kid's dad out the window so I didn't have to deal with him. When he went to prison, it was the best time of my life. Oh my God, I love these freakouts of crystals. Yeah. Oh, are we ready for the next one? Yes, we are.
And that's why I get angry, guys, is because I'm so tired of being treated like garbage.
It's everyone else's fault.
All the fucking time.
Hey.
That's why.
About time you got on here.
Treated like trash. I have always had Shiloh's best interest at heart. I have always protected her. That's why we moved to Spokane in the first place, to escape my baby daddy.
I have always protected Shiloh. Who remembers that one time when she posted that video of Shiloh, and Shiloh is in her bathers and she's standing in a kiddie pool and she's dancing, and Courtney's got it and she's like zooming in on her body, and the song lyrics were she's so aroused. She's so aroused on the song lyrics. And to top it off, she like hashtagged and it had like BDSM and like daddy dom or some shit. And she's like, oh, and when people called her out, she's like, oh, it was an accident. Like, I just used this hashtag thing and I copied the hashtags and it just came up. Fuck off. There is no way that you did not look at that and see that. Like, she's trying to get followers and she's trying to use her child's body to do so. Like, I don't care what anyone says. Like, come at me, but that's how I see it. Yeah, that's right. Daddy, daughter, little girl. Yep. And she was like, what? The video in itself is fucking disgusting, all right? Having that child being zoomed up on, like, in swimwear. I actually blurred it out when I put it on the page. I don't know if it's on YouTube or not, but I actually blurred it out. Actually, no. On this page, like our private page, I showed the whole video, but when I put it on YouTube, obviously I blurred it out because I don't want that shit on my page. You know, I think it was highly inappropriate. We were sickened by it. Like, that was probably the worst thing I had seen at that point until I seen her say the stuff about cancer, which is, you know, it's pretty on par. Like, you're exposing your child. But I feel like she did it on purpose. She did it on purpose to try and get followers. And, you know, someone proved this the other day. I think it was Caroline sent me in a video, and it was showing how this woman had gotten like 2.2 million views on her video that was on TikTok that was labeled as bath time bath time routine. And she had 2.2 million views, and you look at all of the other views and there's like, you know, 5,000, 10,000, and then you go to 2.2k because it's hashtagged with bath time. What the fuck? So clearly, you know, these people, and like Sierra, she got the same thing happening when she put on, like just after that, she put on that, the one of her kids in the nappies. And I don't understand how mothers can not understand, like on a
public platform like that people are searching those hashtags, but for her to put like daddy, daughter, little girl as a hashtag and be like, oh, I didn't realize. Okay, you didn't realize, but you realize that you put that song on. Like, you made a whole ass video with the lyrics, she's so aroused, and then has her slowed down dancing and zooming up on her body, and you tell me that you didn't realize what that was going to do. Fuck off. I'm sorry, but no. That makes me so angry. I'm so angry thinking about it. Ooh, do not tell me that you try and protect Shiloh when you do some shit like that. And she's got an open page, and she knew what she was doing when she put those hashtags. Even without the hashtags, it's fucking sick. Sorry. I'm getting really mad. That's not even the worst of it. Oh, I can't even imagine what she's done. Sickening.
Wolf and joining forces with them because he thinks that somehow he has like a tribe. But I'm sorry, if
Hale does have a tribe here.
On the hate page, you're not a fucking healthy person. I don't give a fuck who you are. The fact that a grown man was asking me to fuck him with a dildo. And
I just love how she just keeps going back to it.
Literally refused to give me love and affection is absolutely disgusting to me.
I don't think she thinks she's explained it enough, so she's going again.
So many fucking times.
Like, how does she go from that to that? She's sitting there and saying, you know, if you're on a hate page, you're not a healthy person. Number one, we're not a hate page. We're a gossip page. You know, there are people that are blocked from certain Insta mums. The Insta mums, you know, they are portraying this perfect life, and they want everyone to be like, oh my God, their life is so perfect. Except for Juliana. She just portrays a train wreck because she knows it's going to get her followers. But they portray one thing, and they can cover up their lies and their bullshit. You know, and no one's ever going to know. Like, this is the same as, you know, for any of them, any of the Insta mums. Like, I have mad respect for Ivy and Abby. Absolutely love them. But, you know, there was stuff with, like, for example, like Ivy, you know, when she did her gender reveal and she had the ice baby and she had a baby daddy in the picture. And then, like, a day later, it was deleted and there was, like, a new guy. And everyone's like, what the fuck? You know, where'd this guy come from? Like, I swear the other guy had blonde hair and this guy is, like, dark hair with a beard. Like, where did he come from, you know? And so people were confused. And that's what my page is about. It's about, you know, and then anyone that asks questions, you know, they get blocked because they're, like, calling it out, you know, saying, well, what's the deal? And they just want to know what's going on. And that is why we have this page, so we can go back and refer to that. Because people are like, oh, but yesterday there was a picture of a guy with blonde hair, you know, and then, you know, they're confused by it, and then they never get the real story of what happened. And I guess that's what it's for, because it's so that rather than portraying what they want people to see it for what it is. Because so many people idolize these Insta mums and they, you know, judge their own relationships around it. Like, well, you know, why aren't I happily married? Like, you know, Juliana, 5 years ago, she was painting such a pretty picture of what her relationship was. She's like, oh, we're getting married, we're having another baby, we're millionaires, we own 2 houses. And that was not the reality of it. The reality of it was a man that she claims is abusive. She's been having an affair the entire time on this man. You know, she's had her child fall in the pool and almost drown. And then she tells another story to cover it up and say, well, you know, I took her to the ER and we know that didn't happen. You know, like all of these lies. And that's why we have this page, to try and show people that this is not the life that you desire. Okay, there's nothing wrong with your life. Everyone has issues in their life, but don't sit there and look at someone else and their pretty pictures on Instagram and their filtered life and think that they are perfect. You know, we've got, and now we see the shit show it is. Like, you know, there was tax debts and the house got sold and all this, and all the dogs that were bought for Instagram likes, they're all disappeared now. Like, this is what the purpose of the page is. It's a gossip page to find out what's actually happening and not the filtered life that's going on. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong. You can't sit there and say that we're unhealthy because we're on here. You know, I've got a husband, I have kids, you know, we do our family vacations, we have lots of family time, we own a business together. That does not mean that I don't have time for this. Like, everyone has their different pleasures. I don't really watch TV. You know what I mean? Like, my husband and I will get into like a series and we'll watch it together. But I probably spend my time, like my TV time, on here rather than watching TV. You know what I mean? Like, we can still balance healthy stuff. Like, different people have different hobbies. Like, you know, I would say that I would spend less time doing Instagram stuff than I do
than Sierra spends on the couch. You know what I mean? But I don't spend any time on the couch. So this is like my downtime, what I do to enjoy, if that makes any sense. But this is just another thing, though. She's just trying to, like, shame people and gaslight people because she doesn't want them on this page. She doesn't want them to see the truth. Let me just go back up and read some of these comments. Why does she keep talking about the fucking strap-on? Oh, my God. I know. This, and then she just goes back to, and because of the dildo, and the dildo, and like everything she says, I'm trying to protect Shiloh, dildo, like, what the fuck? And this is not even half of it. She keeps going back to the damn dildo. So who's sending this crap to her, folks? Did someone send it to her? Someone probably should. Lucy! What are you doing, baby? What's wrong? Oh, you want to sit with Mama? You want to sit with Mama? Oh, darling. Yeah, I know. I'm just busting through the door. Sorry, my dog just joined us. Oh, there's the other one. Okay, but Courtney, you were so into BDSM, but you won't fucking strap up. Sounds like an unfair dynamic to me. I don't know if it's more of a, you know, she says we all fetish Hale. I feel like she fetishes BDSM because it's like something like, okay, let's look back to every relationship she's been in, and she will like hold on to whatever the main part of that person is, and she will like change her whole personality around it. You know what I mean? Like when she was with Terry, it was like the military wife, and then, you know, each person. So like it was the whole, I can't even think of what it was with Mel, it was all about being an advocate for the the LGBTQ community, which I'm sure I just messed it up again. It's all about that because he was like an advocate for whatever that thing in Spokane was, and that's what he volunteered with. And so now with Hale, it's like all about BDSM. So she like morphs to each person, even though that's probably not what she's into. Someone said, speaking of Juliana, did you get her live from earlier? Yes, I got part of it. And then we actually went live and got the other part of it. It was pretty boring, though. She just yelled at the kids, locked them out. You know, just the usual shiz. Hale says she does it because I tried to be open for once and she knew I always ended up stopping her and drenched in shame. Figured guys like pegging for a reason and tried to be open about it, but that was very, very rare. She was the first. Oops, just on my phone. To be honest, I love doing that to my old partner and shaming it is not fucking okay. Like, what the hell? Dildo. Trolley, don't feel like you have to justify anything. As long as it's consensual, nobody should care. Exactly right. I feel like she's just a bit of an idiot. Let me just, sorry, I just got a message. I'll go check. How'd you go? A little thing on top. Yes, of course. Sorry. Oh, so someone found the comment. So there was a comment left on my YouTube this morning and I couldn't see it because I thought maybe I'd been blocked. And someone said I had to go to the little thing on the top. Couldn't. Sorry, that comment. For the life of me. So someone said, Mel may not have been physically abusive like Courtney, but he's still a piece of shit. Don't believe his bullshit ass story. And that's the Taylor Purden girl who was also the one on the Facebook page that Courtney sent the stuff to Courtney. And I kind of feel like I remember the name. Didn't she say Taylor on one of the lives? Hale, fill us in. Which one was Taylor again? Was that one of Mel's exes as well? Or no? Or was that one of your exes? The name's Taylor Purden. And I remember on one of the lives she said, oh, hey, Taylor, or something, and she was, like, repeating stuff back about you. And I can't remember if it was, like, your ex or her ex or who it was. But that's Mel's most recent ex. Is that the Monkeys girl? Or is that a different one again? Because that is the same girl that has been sending out screenshots from the Facebook page. Oh no, that's somebody else. Different person. My bad. So who is Taylor Rivet? Do you know who that is? It says Mama Matt Powell's wife, followed by a non-spot, an Ivy owner. That's obviously a different person, or is that the same person? No. Oh, okay. All right. That's okay then. I thought maybe it was the same Taylor, because I know she was talking to a Taylor, and then we had... and then obviously I just had that person make that comment saying, Mel may not have been physically abusive like Courtney, but he's still a piece of shit. Don't believe his bullshit ass story. Don't know. I'm not saying that I believe his story. Like, I do totally believe that he was abusive, whether it was abusive, reactive abusive, whatever. The dude was abusive. Like, there is no... I'm not denying that whatsoever. I can assure you that I'm not denying that he was abusive. What I am saying is, though, I know that she was equally abusive. I know that people witnessed physical altercations between them that Courtney did, like, throw hands first. Like, she was the first one to put hands on him. But, like, they were both just as bad, because what they would do is they'd have an argument and they'd go back and forward until it just was that explosive. You know what I mean? That's what I've been told anyway. I wasn't here for any of these fights. I didn't see recordings or any of them. But this is, like, a friend that was, like, platonic. I think they were actually more friends with Courtney, and then they became friends with Mel. Hale said, I will say Courtney doesn't beat people like you said. I feel like maybe that might have been the case with you, but like I said, this person was friends with them, and this one day an argument broke out. He, like, was snappy at her for whatever, I can't remember what it was over. He was snappy at her. She, like, snapped back, and then it started, like, he called her a bitch or something, and then she was, like, going mad. And they were, like, arguing back and forth, but I do know that she struck him on the side of the face. And like, this person was sitting there going, what the fuck? Like, there was two people that watched it. They were like, what the fuck is going on here? So concussion-wise, yeah. Right, yeah. I didn't really believe that one either. I mean, unless she got him, like, a good one to give him concussion. I don't know. Like, I mean, it's not really my place to believe or not to believe. I'm not saying I think they were both very abusive, but I just know the details of that one thing. So I've got no doubt that he was abusive. Like, I really do believe that he would have threw hands as well. I'm just saying that that this person did definitely see her throw the first hit in this instance, just this instance.